Welcome. I'm Kinetic Symphony. I hunt down and report on mysterious and weird true stories, from glitches to the paranormal. Case file number 208, written by Fat Girl 2292. That building we passed every day. Morphed. It might sound stupid, but when I get to work I always pick up a friend that works in the same place I do. And we pass through the street that has some apartment buildings with yellow paint, and they have a black gate. Every single day we pass through there, my friend tells me, "Damn, I wish I could afford an apartment there," since they are really nice looking, but we heard they are very expensive, out of our budgets. So anyways, yesterday, I picked up my friend on our way, and as we're getting close to the apartment complex, I'm already thinking, here we go again. My friend is gonna start telling me how she wishes she could live there, like she always does every day. I'm concentrating on the road when I hear my friend say, "What the hell?" I looked at her. Mouth was open and she's pale. I turn around to where the apartments are supposed to be, and it's a whole different apartment complex. Different colors, some are beige colored and no black gate in front, and even the name is different. These ones are called Sunset Apartments, but the yellow ones with the black gate we see every day are called Alta Vista Apartments. I stopped the car. I told her this can't be. I told her, are we on the correct street? We looked around and we were. We started freaking out and got on the car and left for work. But on our way back, we retraced our steps and went back and bam, the apartment complex we saw every day was there again. The one with the black gate. That different one we saw earlier was just not there anymore. My friend says we probably went to an alternate universe or dimension or something like that. Or maybe it was just a glitch. And I'm glad I'm not crazy because I have her as a witness. This is the first time something like this has happened to me. And while yes, it was very freaky and scary, I'm also glad it didn't happen to me alone, or I would have felt like I lost my mind. Case file number 209, written by NostrilNugget. A road we drove on often vanished as if it never existed. My kid and I go ride daily. The kid loves to get out, listen to music, and just cruise. I grew up here. I know the interstate, highways, and farm-to-market roads like the back of my hand. On one of our rides last week, this happened. There's this one farm-to-market road, which had been there for at least 40 years, that is often traveled by people who want to get off the interstate and have a peaceful 6-mile drive through the woods to connect to another major road. The feeder road from the interstate is one way, and about half a mile to the FM road, then continues past the FM road and continues on for several miles. My kid and I got onto the feeder road and went the half mile to the FM road, except it wasn't there. No sign it had ever been there, just woods. Not even a slight indication anything had ever been there before. Even the road signs were gone. And it was eerily quiet. I couldn't hear road noise, or even music in the car. After we passed where the FM road should have been, about half a mile later, sound came back. We continued on and finished our ride, both wondering what happened. Today on our ride, we took the route again. Lo and behold, the FM road was back. I took it 2 different times just to make sure. My kid and I kinda laughed and looked at each other. I don't know what to make of it, but it surely was odd. Case file number 210, written by Pleasant Gap 5298. Blackout, winter, drinks. Let's walk back. It's just 10 minutes. Well, so we thought. I recently met up with some old friends and this story from 20 years ago came up. It's something I have never forgotten and have never been able to explain. Before I begin, I want to make it perfectly clear that none of us were drunk. There is no alcohol involved in the story whatsoever. A bit of setup. I live in a small town in England. The road where I lived at the time runs parallel to the high street with several pubs and one nightclub. Another road runs vertically to connect the two. Think of a capital letter I with the lines at the top and bottom. The local nightclub is at the bottom of the I and my flat at the top. It's a straight road, about a 10-minute walk from one end to the other. This is important. On to the story. Myself and 4 friends found ourselves in the local nightclub at around 11 p.m., stone cold sober, and we were queuing at the bar to get our first drinks of the night. Just before we got served, there was a power cut. Emergency lights came on, everyone escorted out of the club. The whole town was out. It was the middle of winter, so we decided to cut our losses and walk back to my place, and finally have a drink. It was no later than 11:45 at this point, probably a bit earlier. We started the walk back to my place. It was incredibly dark and eerie, so we did what I think anyone would do in that situation. We tried to scare the crap out of each other. The walk was otherwise uneventful. We got back to mine, and after fumbling around in the dark, looking for a light source, we settled in, and I started making us some long-awaited drinks. That's when one of my friends asked what time it was. Thinking this was another spooky story, I waited for the rest of it. I remember her voice chilling me when she said, "No, seriously, what's the time?" We all looked at our watches. We were all showing 3:20 a.m., except one which had stopped at 1:05 a.m. We don't know if that's important, because sometimes watches just stop. None of us remember anything unusual aside from the power cut, but somehow we lost around 3.5 hours on a 10-minute walk. While talking about this, my friends and I did create an approximate timeline of that entire evening to see if there were any gaps we could fill. Some of us remember things the others don't, but it was about 20 years ago, so I figure that's normal. We mostly recall it the same, and none of us have any idea where the 3.5 hours went. The whole night was weird, but explainable up to that point. Case notes, file number 210. Yeah, aliens, baby, you know it. Time loss at night, multiple people with no recollection of what happened. Frankly, nothing else would make sense here, right? I wonder if it was aliens, were they responsible for the power outage too? Perhaps. Should be a trivial task for any species advanced enough to reach our planet. When you give it a few minutes of thought, though, it's simultaneously exciting, wondrous for the truth that it conveys, that technology could go so far beyond what we believe to be possible currently, but also, well, it's terrifying. We're fully at the mercy of any such species. You know that quote, the whole advanced technology being indistinguishable from magic? Well, it's true. If they want to abduct us, study us, destroy us, whatever, they will, and we wouldn't even know about it until it was over. Case file number 211, written by Taquitos Our Life. Babe is taking a shower late. Let's go check. He's not there. Long time ago now, since my ex, maybe 6 years ago now. One morning I woke up having the day off. He was at work. But then I hear the shower nozzle turn on and the water turn on, and I think, oh, he got up late and is getting ready. I call out, "Babe!" And I hear him call out, "Yeah." So I get up and walk around the bed to the bathroom, and I'm thinking about how I'm gonna tease him about being late once I open the door. And I'm thinking of something to say, so my mind is distracted. But I know I hear the cap pop on a bottle of shampoo or body wash, and I open the door, and the curtain is open. The room is empty. And I didn't check, but it did look like someone had showered, but he would have showered before he left for work an hour or so before I woke up. The room felt very heavy, and I actually closed the door after turning the lights on in the studio, bathroom, and kitchen area, because I'm a baby. Does this belong here? I know that place was horribly haunted, but this felt very weird. Like it had his essence. I can't explain it, but I can feel him walk into a room before you see him. He's a very grounded, highly in tune person. I can't explain it. If you know, then you know. But whatever this was, captured perfectly. If you're enjoying the video, consider leaving a like. Now on to the next story. Bonus file, written by Cotton Spectre. A powerful voice from within. In general, I believe in superstitions and bizarre phenomena, but I'm usually indifferent and not scared. I'm also not sensitive in terms of identifying unfamiliar energies, although I usually have a spot-on instinct with people, and that's about it. However, there was this one time when I experienced something strange, and not sure if this could be categorized as paranormal or other stuff. So my office building was a warehouse that turned into a 2-story building in a loft style. The second floor was divided into right and left wings, separated by stairs, but it is basically open space that you can see almost the entire office in a glance. I was staying there late, until around 9 p.m. I was all alone, not only on the second floor, but in the building. There were these 2 janitors downstairs, though, but they were smoking outside. The only part of the building that still had the lights on was my wing, but I didn't worry since I wasn't afraid. However, suddenly I got this whisper that told me to go home. The voice didn't sound like scolding or warning me, and rather it spoke in a matter-of-fact tone. Moreover, what makes it extraordinary is I know fully well that it came from the very core of me, but it wasn't me, if that makes any sense. Also, although it spoke plainly and not really in a commanding way, I wasn't in fear whatsoever as well. I knew right away that I needed to comply, so I just left. I remember that I was really confused instead of feeling scared or anything because, again, I didn't feel like the voice had any intimidating intention, simply order. Has anyone experienced a similar thing? To this day, I still wonder what or who the voice is and why it came to me because there was not even the slightest danger in sight.